And then I like rolled the window up because weirdo. My first year of college, I was so excited to be in college. I was like, I can do whatever I want. I'm in college, yeah. So I decided to dress up like a car and park at a parking meter for a half hour. That's what I decided to do. So I got a cardboard box, right? And I got bowls and I put them on the front for headlights. And I got a license plate in the front, license plate in the back. I had a steering wheel made out of a Frisbee, and I used a belt just right over like that. All right, I had my car, and my roommate in the dorm is looking at me like, oh no, this is gonna be a long year. Like we both like walked out. She was walking out to class with me, and I'm in my little car. We're walking out, and she's like, all right, have a good day. And I'm like, honk, honk, you too. So I'm in my car, and I'm driving it around town, and like a couple blocks away from my dorm, and I'm on like, it's Washington Ave. I'm super excited. I get up, and I find like a parking spot, because it's so hard to find parking in Minneapolis. So I get up, I find a parking spot, and I see it, I'm like, oh, sweet. But then I get like really nervous, because like I've never parallel parked before. Just in my car, and I'm like, right? Like, takes a while. I finally get into the spot, take the car off, I put my quarter in, get back in my car, and I stand there. And I don't know what I thought would happen, but a crowd gathered. Yeah. People were like walking by, and they stopped, like people were pulling up chairs. And I had one person just go, what are you protesting? I was like, nothing. I was just bored and excited at the same time, which is an evil combination. So I'm in my car, and then eventually too, there was this guy. He was so weird. He walked up to me, and he was like, "Can I bum a smoke?" And I was like, "He was like, can I bum a smoke?" And I was like, I really did that. I was like, what? He was like, "Can I bum a smoke?" I was like, oh, sorry, they're in my other car. I don't know where they are. And then I like rolled the window up because weirdo. So I'm in my car, hanging out, having a good time. About the 20-minute mark, right? Like I'm in my car, this giant red pickup truck just starts like backing towards the spot, and I'm like freaking out because I'm like, it's like coming at me, and I'm like, oh no, and I'm just like scared because like I don't have insurance. You know, so he's just banging at me, and I'm like, and I'm just like frozen. I don't know what to do. And he rolls down his window, and he's just shouting at me. He's like, get out of the way. Come on, move. I want this spot. What are you doing? And I'm just like, I'm here. I don't know. And then the people in the crowd, they start shouting back. So he's like, get out of there. What are you doing? They're like, leave her alone. Leave her alone. She's here. She's here first. Leave her alone. And he's like, what is she doing? What is she doing? And the crowd of people just goes, she's a car. She's a car. She's a car. She's a car. And they just start chanting, she's a car. And I'm like, I'm a car. I'm a car. Right? And then I just... And the car drove away. And we're like, we won! Like we were all like hugging and high-fiving, and they were like, we did it, this is so great, I can't believe we did it. I was like, I know, I can't believe it too. This is so awesome. What a great moment in history. You know, it was so exciting, but then like my meter was up. And I was just like, okay, bye. And I just like put on my blinker and just merged into traffic and drove away, never to be seen or heard from again. So I don't know what your first week of college was like, but I got my money's worth. Yeah, that was super fun. Oh, thank you guys. Yeah.
I'm so excited. Here's something that happened today. I was talking to my friend,
And she was like, I spent $70 to fill my tank. And I was like, whoa! 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 You drive a tank? That's such a good deal. When I was younger, I grew up in a theme park. Yeah. The theme of the park was trailer. Yeah. It's pretty cool growing up in a trailer park because you get to pretend like you're a movie star. You can be like, if you need me, I'll be in my trailer. So I went to the bathroom today. Yeah, every day. Yeah, we're doing it. I went to the bathroom and I looked in the toilet. And there was a wooden shoe in the toilet. And I was like, oh no, the toilet's clogged. Does that happen to you too? But I'm thinking about opening up an Italian restaurant in a shady neighborhood and calling it Spaghetto. I told my friend, and he was like, or call it Olive Garden. Oh, man, burn! So my favorite class in high school was geography, because I got to write a report on whatever I wanted. So I wrote a report called, If Hungary Could Attack Any Country, It Would Attack Turkey. And then it would attack Viet nom 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 nom. So I'm a nerd, and I have a lot of nerdy friends, and nerds are cool, right? But sometimes nerds can be kind of annoying. I have a nerdy friend, and he's always asking me super nerdy questions. Like the other day, he was like, hey, what's your favorite element? I was like, I don't know. He's like, come on, what's your favorite element? So I punched him in the face. I was like, the element of surprise! So, yeah, it's fun. Do you guys know what happens to a Power Ranger when it gets hurt? It goes to the hospital, duh! And then it's like, it's morphine time! Yeah, nerds! I go to the doctor a lot. And I always hate when the doctor finds out I'm a comedian, you know? Because the last time I went to the doctor and he found out I was a comedian, he was like, well, laughter's the best medicine. And I'm like, yeah, well, crying's the affordable generic brand. But yeah, I do go to the doctor a lot. I have a genetic heart condition called Marfan Syndrome, and it's pretty cool. It has physical signs that I will share with you now. Awareness saves lives! So one of the signs is being tall. Another sign is having like disproportionately big hands. So I'll let you guys look at them. I know people always want to look at my hands, so we'll just get it out of the way. That's how big my hand is. I know. You think that's crazy? Look how big my peace sign is. Someone just covered their mouth. I know, I got two of them. The other day, I went into my friend's house and I went up to his TV and I was like, you got cable! I know, it is. it's it is what it is. But another sign of Marfan syndrome is having scoliosis. So I have scoliosis, I have a curved spine, and growing up I was super self-conscious about it, and my mom tried to cheer me up. She was like, well, you know what? Guys love curvy girls. And I'm like, yeah, I'm so curvy, yeah. Ooh, my lungs are collapsing. I know. Oh, another sign of Marfan syndrome. Hold on, my mouth is so dry. Another sign is dry mouth, just kidding. Another sign is being very nearsighted, and I am very nearsighted. Here's how I know that I have very bad vision. I went to the doctor to get new contacts. When the doctor saw my prescription, she was like, oh no. I was like, oh, it's not good when a doctor's scared. So I asked her, I was like, well, how bad is my vision? And she said, well, for normal people or normal prescription, everyone's normal, we're fine. I added that part. A normal bad is like a -2, -3. That's a lot of people are that prescription. Pretty bad's like a -7, -8. And she was like, your right eye is a -17. I know. I was like, oh man, that's bad. I was like, well, is that the worst you've ever seen? And she said, no. And I was like, yeah! And I was like, what's the worst you've ever seen? She said, -19. And I was like, booyah! Take that! I'm not the worst! I'm not the worst! I'm jumping around. And she goes, yeah, that's your left eye. I know. There's a little more to the joke. I go, I didn't see that coming. So, oh man. So, yeah, I'm weird. You guys can tell. But did anyone watch Last Comic Standing? Yeah, it was so much fun, and I want to share just like some insider secrets about the show. I don't know if you noticed this because they edited it a little bit, but when I was on the show, I forgot my jokes on national television, right? As a comedian, we have 2 jobs. Have jokes, remember your jokes. And I'm up there and I am free, like frozen, knowing that millions of people are gonna see this and like my career's over, right? It was just, I was so terrified, but here's what I did. So first joke went fine, second joke fine. Third joke I blanked, I couldn't remember, so I'm just up there like, and what I did was, I'm a cat. Meow, 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 meow. And then I meowed until I remembered my jokes. Yeah, I know what you guys are I know you guys are like, oh man, I'm sorry it didn't work out for you. That's too bad. No, it worked. I made it to the next round. And then I made it to the round after that. I got 3rd place on Last Comic Standing. I know. Being a cat saved my life. I know, being weird is the best. So now I go around and I like help audiences all around the country, and I share this wonderful technique. Let's say you're driving home tonight, maybe you're driving a little too fast, get pulled over by the cops, and the cops are like, hey, what's going on? And you're just like, I'm a cat. Meow, 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 and then drive away. Get arrested later. We'll see. I don't know if it works or not. But I love texting. Like, it's so much fun. Text. But like, a typo can just ruin everything. I was texting my boyfriend and I wanted to say something cute. I wanted to be like, kiss, 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 kiss. But what I accidentally said was kids. Super awkward, right? He's not my boyfriend anymore. Because He's my husband. Anything can happen. Yeah, so he's weird, I'm weird. We're both weird. It works out good. I want to share how we met, though, because it's such an interesting story. So I'm a comedian. I perform on stage. After a show, he came up to me, and he said, hey, funny stuff. And then he asked me, hey, would you like to be a guest on my podcast? I was like, okay, cool. So I went over to this strange man's house, and I went into his basement, and we recorded a podcast, right? Cool, fine, whatever. A couple weeks go by, I find out he did not have a podcast. He just made it up to have a reason to hang out with me. Isn't that romantic? Yes. I know, the girls are like, that is so creepy. And the guys are like, that's a good idea. I know. So we met in a comedy club. We actually got married in the very same comedy club that we met, which was super duper cool. And that's where we're gonna give birth to our first child. I'm just kidding, but that'd be cool too. And it was pretty fun. But after we got married, I decided I want to be a cool wife. I was like, I want to be a cool wife, So I really did this. I took my husband to Hooters, and I was like, take a look around. You'll never have any of that again. But then I asked him, I was like, do you think I could work at Hooters? And he was like, you could be a manager. What? I was so bummed. I was like, I'd be so good at handing out wings. I could hand out so many. And I love owls. So, I do, I really do. I love all animals so much. That's why my favorite Bible story is probably Noah's Ark. I love it so much. But I realized if I was Noah, I would have done it differently. Like if I was Noah and I had the power to summon animals, I wouldn't have done what Noah did. Like if I was Noah, I would have been like, bring me all the beavers! We're building a dam! I love how no one knows where I'm going with that. They're like, this is a weird joke. I also love turtles, but what is wrong with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Why do they have six-pack abs? Right? It's not like they can do sit-ups. Okay, so since you guys like animal jokes, I have one more. And it's a very interactive animal joke. And it's a one-act play. I'll be playing all the roles. And we'll do it here as long as you guys we gotta move this over. It's a very involved animal joke. Yeah, that guy knows it. He's excited. Okay, so there's this sheep, right? And the sheep's like, I'm a sheep, I'm a sheep. He's cool. And over here, there's a shepherd, and he's like, I'm a shepherd, right? And the sheep's over here, and he's like, stop pushing me around, And the shepherd's over here, and the shepherd's like, what? Right? And the sheep's over here, and the sheep's like, stop pushing me around, And the shepherd's over here, and he's like, what? And the sheep's over here, and the sheep's like, stop pushing me around, And the shepherd's like, what? And the sheep's like, you heard me? So, did you guys like that joke? Should I ever tell it again? Well, guess what? I'm doing it again. So, there's this sheep, right? And the sheep's like, I'm a sheep. I'm just kidding. You guys were so scared. I know. Sometimes I do the whole joke. You guys gotta pay extra for that. So yeah, it's pretty fun. So I'm gonna kind of switch gears here. So those were some animal jokes and stuff, but I just want to share a story about my dad. And I'm kind of been working on this bit, and an interesting thing happened. So my dad passed away a few years ago, and I've been trying to like work it into my act. Like I've been trying to like tell stories about him, and it's been kind of hard. So I'm going to share that with you, and I'll share the story that I was working on and just something interesting that happened. And we'll kind of just see what happens. We'll see how it goes. This is exciting. So when I was 9, I was having open heart surgery, and I was in the ICU, and it was around Christmas time. And I was hanging out with my dad, and that day, the nurse came in and said, hey, we can have someone come in and see your daughter here in the ICU. And my dad was given 2 options. One option was Santa Claus, and the other option was Jason Fisk, the defensive end of the Minnesota Vikings. So he had to decide who his little girl would want to see the day before Christmas. A bearded, overweight man came in. It was not Santa. My dad chose Jason Fisk. He was on the Vikings player. I didn't know him. Like, I was like, what's going on? But like that day, I got to see like how excited my dad was. Like, he was so excited. He was like, yeah! You know, they're hugging, they're taking pictures, and I'm like, hey guys, I'm over here, you know? And he got his autograph, and my dad was just so psyched. And as a 9-year-old, I saw that, and I noticed like how important football was to my dad. So I was like, this is it. I was like, that's what I loved it so much, and we shared that together. So I became the biggest football fan because that meant I got to spend time with my dad. So every Sunday, that was our time, and we would get to watch, and it was so exciting, and I would get so amped up, and I wanted them to win so bad. Like, even as like a 10 and 11-year-old, I'm just shouting things, and I know way too much. I'm like, gosh darn it, Warren Moon! You know, Chris Carter, get your act together! You know, why'd you guys go on that party boat? You know, just like really getting into it. So there's more to that story, and I was telling it recently. And as I was telling the story, like, this was actually one of my first times ever doing a big headlining week at my home club. Actually, the same club where I met my husband. So I was super excited to be doing the set. And as I was telling the story about my dad, like, I couldn't get through it. Like, I couldn't finish my set. And I just felt just so awkward. And it was just really hard for me. And it got quiet. It was quiet like this. And I didn't think I'd be able to finish my set. And then someone in the back of the audience just shouts, your dad's proud of you. I know. And I just lost it. And I was like, that is the best heckle I have ever received. And it was just so amazing. So now I go around to different comedy shows, and anytime there's like a lull, I just shout out, your dad's proud of you. And it's so amazing. Like, it changes everyone's lives. Like, it meant so much to me. Because, like, my dad wasn't a very vocal person, but I could totally see him, like, paying someone to shout it, you know? It's like, yeah, here you go. You tell her. She'll know it's me, you know? So it was just a really cool moment. Thanks for letting me share that with you guys. Do any of you guys hang blankets on your windows for curtains? You're already clapping. You're like, yeah, right. It's totally fine to hang blankets on your windows for curtains. No one cares, right? But when I start using curtains as blankets, everyone freaks out. Yeah. The other day, my mom was like, what are you doing with the Venetian blinds? And I'm like, shh. any of you guys go to In-N-Out Burger? You guys have heard of it? Yes! Oh my gosh, I love it. I'm from Minnesota where we don't have it, and I live in LA now, and I think it's super cool. And when my family was coming to visit, I wanted to impress them, so I was like, oh my gosh, you guys, we have to go to In-N-Out Burger. It's so cool. And I was amping them up. I was talking about it for months and months and months, and I was like, they have a secret menu. You have to know what's on the menu. They don't tell you. You have to know, you know? And I was just super excited, and they were super excited. So when the plane landed, I took them directly to In-N-Out Burger, and we get there. I'm so excited. They're so excited. We get in line, get up to the line, and I cannot remember the name of the secret menu item. Right? Do you guys know what it is? Animal style, right? I could not remember. So I'm in line, and my family's watching, and I'm just staring at this cashier, and I'm just like, we would like 4 burgers, unicorn style? And I stare down the cashier, and he goes, okay. And I was like, okay. And he was like, okay. I was like, okay. All right, we did it. This is great. We're doing it. Yes. He goes to make the burgers. My family's excited. 20 minutes go by. We get our burgers, and it's the same cashier made sure to deliver them to us. And he shoves this box of burgers towards us, and it's 4 burgers. And they each have just 1 French fry. Just shoved into the middle of the burger. And I'm looking at the cashier, and he's looking at me, and he's like, And I'm like, And he's like, And my family's like, why do people order it like this? I was like, I don't know, but this place is awesome. Oh, man. All right. I gotta get out of here pretty quick, but I'll leave you guys with this. So, I love penguins, right? They're so cute. They're just the best animal in the world, which is why I'm kind of mad at Santa Claus. Because the penguins hang out with Santa all year round, and it's a penguin's dream to fly. They're like, we want to fly, you know? And Santa has the magical ability to make animals fly to guide his sleigh, and he's completely ignoring the penguins. We want to fly. He's like, you'll never fly. You know? Instead, he's importing reindeer from Canada. And I don't know if you know this, but Canada is like the North Pole's Mexico. So the penguins are like, they're stealing our jobs, you know, right? Because they don't understand, you know, Santa's the one doing the hiring, you know, but they are up in arms, right? But they can't show it. I was doing that joke a couple weeks ago, and a guy came up to me after the show and was like, just so you know, penguins don't live in the North Pole. And I'm like, yeah, either does Santa.